Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. This week's is going to be a Draw This in Your Own Style challenge. The original is by Bailey Tattoo on Instagram. I know I'm sort of... This challenge has been a challenge that's been going on for absolutely ages. And everybody's done a challenge like this. But I just decided that I'd do this one. It's so out of my comfort zone, and I just wanted to do something that was completely almost monochromatic in colour scheme. I've done similar sort of styles. There's not a lot that you can do with a bust picture really, unless you do a profile picture, because that was virtually a full-on front view. So I decided that I was going to do a profile of the bust. But actually thinking about it, when I was editing this video, I thought I should have gone in full on, because the original pictures like a woman / bunny girl / skeleton / superhero, like Batman with like a cowl, and I should have just done it like a full body, what I think the rest of the body would look like. But I just think that would have been so much cooler than doing just another bust from a different angle. But I'm really quite happy with this drawing. You can see that I'm in this part of the drawing, I'm actually trying to decide whether to use the ear or whether to just do the cowl sort of Batman thing, where they don't have any ears and it's just the animal ears on the top. Like Batman, Catwoman sort of style, but with like rabbit ears instead of pointy ears at the top. You'll have to forgive me, sorry. I've got a bit of a cold coming on, so there's going to be a lot of sort of half sniffs and clearing my throats and stuff on this voiceover, unfortunately. When I was doing the blue pencil outlines, I decided at that point that I wasn't going to use the ear. Later on, you'll see that I change my mind and I go back in, and after I've fully inked this piece, I decide that I need to use the ear, because the original has the ears on it, the human ears, not the rabbit ears. The pencils that I'm using to sketch, they are the Pilot Colorino. I have a red and a blue. The red, I generally go in for the initial pass, just to get the basic shapes in, the basic features. And when I go in with the blue, I tend to sort of try and sharpen up the features. So that's when all the details start to go in, the real details. I'm really getting used to using this paper as well. This is the Canson XL marker paper. I bought it when I was in the US back in June, and I haven't used it at all up until I started doing these YouTube videos. So that's only like a month, but I'm really quite liking it. My go-to paper is generally the Strathmore turned tanned, but at first it seemed really weird, sort of trying to draw on white paper again, because like for like ages, ever since I've been drawing, it's always been white paper that I've been drawing on. And when I did the change to the tone paper, I just thought, well, why have I never ever been using this before? It's amazing. So now I'm going back to using white again, and now I'm really quite liking it. The markers really pop when it goes onto white compared to like the tone that they have when they're on the tone paper. Here I've changed my mind. I've decided, right, I'm going to do the ear. So I just roughly drew the ear in on top of the finished line work. And so I go in and do it all over again on a new piece of paper. I was good. I was absolutely gutted because I couldn't get the lines as nice as I had them on the original line work. No matter how much I look at it now, I just keep thinking to myself that original line work was so much better. And I suppose I could have used it. I mean, I could have sort of tried to mask where the cowl came in on the ears and use like a white paint pen or something to try and mask where it came in, but you know, you live and you learn. There's a picture on my Instagram actually. When I was doing the challenges, the Copic color challenges, it gave you like 3 marker colors that were to be used in one piece, and you could only use, I think, those 3 colors and white and black. So I went in and I think my first one was like 3 tones of green. There was like a true green and then 2 yellow greens. And that was a profile picture as well. I quite enjoy doing the profile pictures because it takes the emphasis away from, if I'm doing a front-on view of a person, the feature that I concentrate on the most is the eyes, because that is the focal point of the face when it's a face-on view. On a profile, it's the ears and the nose. They're the main features that you concentrate on. That's what makes the face a profile picture. The colours that I'm using here, because the original picture was almost monochromatic, apart from a bit of purple in the mask and mainly black, and like a greeny grey tone on the skin, I used yellow 00 for the blush instead of using what I would normally use, like a pink, which would be the like R11 or something like that. And most of the shading is done with a warm grey. It just gives that. The original looked like it was done on a, you know, like a newspaper sort of picture. It was quite dotty and pixelated almost. So I decided that the bottom half would still have that greeny grey colour, and the mask would just be virtually completely black apart from just a bit around the eyes, like in the original, which was like a lavendery mauvey sort of shade. So for that, I actually used the E70s, the lighter colours on the E70s. I think it's E71, E74, just to differentiate between the skin and the mask, because the skin is such greeny, warm grey colours, and the mask is a bit more of a warm colour, but then I do use cool greys to shade it. Also, I used B20, I think that marker is, just to give it that transition between the pink and the grey that I'll be using to colour the rest of the mask skin. At this point, I was convinced that I was maybe going to try and take the pinks a little higher, but then I sort of kept looking at the original, and there's just like, it's just like a bandit mask of colour around the eyes. So it was like, you know what, it's all just going to go black, right up to the just that bandit mask. I wanted to try and keep everything as close to the original as I could, the original, I absolutely loved it. It sort of jumped straight off Instagram at me. That I don't know what it was about it. It was just sort of like it's a bit haunting. It's a bit Halloweeny, but it's and I sort of like midway through, I decided that it was too much sort of Ariana Grande for me, and I wasn't so keen on it, and I was almost gonna throw it out completely. And then I just thought, you know what, you've started it, do it, make it what it's supposed to be. It's nothing like Ariana Grande apart from the fact that it's got rabbit ears and it's a mask. It makes me actually wonder what was the inspiration behind the real one, the original. I'm not that sure. I should have really researched that really before I started doing this. It may well be just like some sort of artistic expression of Ariana Grande's career or something, you know, some deep artistic meaning behind it all. I don't know. If you all know, if anybody there knows, you know, by all means, let me know in the comments below. I mean, I can't see. I just think it's just like a really cool picture. And, or at least the original is. You lot can be the judges of whether whether my one is any good, if it is cool or not. This is where I sort of like could have kicked myself. I made like the black, which was supposed to be like the black eye sockets in the skull. I sort of made them join over the bridge of the nose, which they shouldn't have really. This is the the Pentel pocket brush in grey. It's the first time I'm really using it since Inktober when I actually bought it. And I was completely freehanding these teeth over the face. So, yeah, that was the scary part. I really was absolutely shaking and holding my breath to try and get those teeth in without ruining the picture, because I just had no pencil guide for that at all. It was completely freehanding. I'm using my trusty, it's a Derwent Colour Soft in white, and that's just what I use to try and get soft highlights, and then I'll go in with a gel pen, so that's a Sakura Jelly Roll in white, to just give her some lashes and give her some highlights on her lips. And the lips were supposed to be like black lipstick, but I couldn't do it. It would just like overpower the skin and everything, so I did it just with a warm grey. And this is, at this point, I decided that I'd finished, so I was just putting my little logo on it. But if it's in my style, it needs to have like a white outline. But because the paper's white and it's all sort of black, I decided that I had these paint pens from a Scrawlrbox back in April, I think, and I haven't used them since really, so I decided that I'd just go for for a gold outline. I just thought that that'd make the whole thing pop. It's the first time I've actually used these, I think, since I did the Scrawlrbox challenge back in April. So, speaking of Scrawlrboxes, today my Scrawlrbox came today, which is Friday when I'm recording this. It actually came this morning, so I've had a look to see what's in it. So that'll be my next video. So here's just a little, trying to get angles so that you can see the gold shining. I'm actually quite pleased with this, and I can't wait to get it posted on Instagram to see what people think and see what the original artist thought. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. Also, go check out my Instagram at uriel.illustrations. And thank you all so much for watching. See you next week.